How's it going, everyone? It's Art1fact. I thought I'd do something a little different today, do a little analysis video, just because it's one of my favourite songs at the moment. And yeah, I'm going to listen to it properly on headphones, maybe talk a little bit about the sound design and the composition. If we don't learn anything, at least we can enjoy this beautiful track together. So this is Duskee and Disrupta called Sweet Vanilla. I believe it came out very, very recently. Let's have a quick listen.
I simply turn my own mind off.
Now it's a different kind of style to the stuff I normally make or play out because I'm a very, very heavy neurofunk kind of guy, but I love listening to this kind of vibe at home. We got the harmony in terms of the timbres and just not only the musicality but the choice of the instruments and how they sound together. This kind of opening kind of filtered, I don't know if it's a pad or quite what it is, but then this guitar that comes in slowly creeps in to play along with it, and the way they play both at the same time, you have this magic between sort of two instruments happening that are working so well together, so you get such a more like enjoyable soundscape right from the off. You can hear the kind of high end sort of slowly opening up as we kind of build in towards this kind of next 16 bar loop. Now we've got like the third instrument, like the trumpet or whatever it was, and the vocals as well. So it's kind of like four very distinct like instrumental parts to the song already kind of being introduced. Obviously the vocal's still like really mono, and it's like got a lot of reverb and delay on it, and it's not, you know, you can hear it's not in its full kind of effect yet. Some subtle hats in the background. They're not too loud, they're not overdone, they're just kind of there keeping the timing. Feels like that vocal, although it's quite mono, it kind of moves around the stereo field a little bit, so there's a bit of automation there, so that keeps things interesting, keeps your like ears kind of more attentive because it's moving around just a little bit. This kind of reversed it's like a reversed crash cymbal coming in with also with a panning on it, as sort of sweeping up, so it's not only is it coming up in volume, it's also being volume automated up and down, and it's also kind of reversed, and it's being left and right panned, so that's kind of a nice, really nice kind of riser.
Dirty got a size. I love it when the sun is in my eyes. I love it when they come with no disguise. Life's rough but it's a ride. In life we must decide, do we fall the slope or walk the incline? Think wise.
Now what you hear with the vocal, although it's very, very big in the stereo, it has a lot of power in the mono, especially in the low end. You know, we've got this kick which has and the bass which has a lot of low mono power, and also the vocal definitely has its space in the mono, and it's, you know, although it has this stereo character to it, it's by no means, you know, phasing or over stereoed. That's why I really like the vocal treatment on this track.
Think wise, vision pictured in the sky, bet they miss you when you.
It's kind of like you imagine that you've got the low sub, then you've got the kick, then you've got the low part from the vocal, and then you've got these other mid-range kind of instruments after it, if you're sort of climbing up the spectrum.
Whisper them goodbye, bit them once, so second time you're shy. Like they can't witness my demise. Mission through the pictures with the guys.
There's lovely kind of reversed reverb on the vocal, these kind of swells that is just in one place. It's just used creatively in that spot. It's not like we have reverb on the whole vocal the whole time. It's just used creatively here and there.
Bit of rhythm, are you driven, do you drive? Sweet vanilla, Bill it, have a giggle when you fly.
Definitely up for a bit of Sweet Vanilla after this.
Precision deliver, music on my soul is intertwined. It's a struggle so we strive, ayy, solar boy. Two-step groove beneath the light, new trends soon to be behind.
It's got such a nice voice. Also when you kind of listen to the drums, you know, you've got a really powerful kick, nice punchy snare, and the hats just go with it, but they're like, you know, they're lower in the mix, so they're providing that kind of shuffle and dynamic to the drums by being a bit lower in volume.
Loose ends fuse until the tide, the root ends when you press decline. It's a new sense.
The hats also have a dynamic kind of feeling to them. It's like dum 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 dum, which is obviously, you know, really important to sort of emphasize that kind of one particular hat, you know, when nothing else is happening in the drums.
New sense of life.
That's like, whether it's a saxophone, I think it's a saxophone, right? It's got like a really nice long kind of infinite kind of reverb sound on it as well. And that's just really beautiful on that particular instrument. And it's like using these big creative reverbs just on your kind of special sounds, not just like reverbing everything in your song, but like only on the important and the coolest parts that kind of deserve it.
New sense of life.
And I love that main sort of pad that's driving the whole song, you know, from the beginning. It's a very simple kind of melody, but because of the sound of it, you know, the timbre and the texture of it, it keeps it so fresh and organic and interesting that even though it's repeated a lot, it never really gets boring because it's just such a natural, nice sound.
It's a new sense of life.
Very, very simple breakdown, obviously just these kind of atmospheric noise hits. Kind of main melody still going, but like I said, doesn't really get boring because it's just a nice sound, you know. I'm loving the sun hat on the ice cream as well. Really sort of driving the narrative between the kind of the sort of phrases between the phrases with these like long gushes of reverb that like blend things over. Like from the vocal there was like a kind of big vocal reverb swell. And obviously we've got this kind of more telephone style lo-fi vocal in the intro part to like give that real power of the main vocal in the main drop. It's like dynamic contrast, you know, to the intro kind of lo-fi vocal. Lovely, simple but effective switch for the second drop, you know, like drop it in, let the drums have a bit of breathing room for a minute, show off a bit of your lead instrument, and then bring them back in. Nice style points. Lovely sort of long delay and reverb on that saxophone. You just hear it in the background and it's just like kind of in rhythm with the rest of the track and provides that real sort of depth in just the right places. It's almost like you hear the reverb as an instrument in the background. It's not just like trying to reverb things together for no reason. It's very much like a proper layer in the song that like kind of adds to fill out that kind of background, like in a groovy way. Yeah, these subtle extra kind of hats or rides that come in throughout the track there, and we had this sort of extra sort of delayed part to that main kind of that main melodic rhythm that comes in at the end. It's just for like a little bit of variation. Really nice. Leave us on a bit of a tense note at the end. You know, it doesn't quite go back to the root yet. So yeah, leave us a bit tense and open for your next release, I suppose. Yeah, I love that song. One of my favorites for the last like week or two. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Let me know if you want me to do any more, just kind of like listen through to songs and talk a little bit about the composition and the sound design and that kind of stuff. It's not that I have the inspiration every single day to make a new piece of sound design myself, although I do try. But yeah, let me know if you enjoy this kind of video as well, and peace. Have a wicked day. Ciao.